Indigo Moonriver greeted her first sliver of daylight on 29 February 1996 inside a weather-stained trailer tucked behind a sunflower farm on the outskirts of Marfa, Texas. Outside, desert air held a chill that smelled like blue clay and mesquite smoke, while her mother, a roving blues harmonica player who keeps flattened sunflower petals in her gig bag, blew a syrupy riff that made new folds in the corral perk their ears. Her father, a long-haul freight engineer who sketches tiny cloud mustangs on carbon copy freight logs, leaned over the bassinet and promised the infant that freight schedules, gossip wins, and ill-cut size charts would always shift aside for any spirit daring enough to fill her whole outline without apology. Curves had always curved happily along the Moonriver bloodline the way Rio Grande waters meander around Red Rock spurs. So nobody worried when baby Indigo shredded her second cotton swaddle long before the coffee percolated. Nana Magdalena slid a bootlace needle through every split seam, patted the blanket with scraps of bandana cloth, and chuckled that extra fabric cost pocket change, while teaching a child to shrink could cost her endless miles of sunrise. Great school corridors smelt of graphite, roasted green chili, and sand carried through cracked window panes. Indigo already towered half a head above her classmates, shading the overhead projector whenever she diagrammed the water cycle. One gusty recess, two boys hop-stepped around her chanting cattle truck. Every thump her rain boots left in the hop grid. At twilight, she prowled the ranch fence line gathering bottle caps, polished mirrors smoothed by dust storms, threaded them on baling twine, stitched the bright chain down her denim jacket, and strode into class at first bell, scattering constellations across ceiling tiles. The substitute literacy coach captured 8 shaky seconds on a prepaid flip phone, posted the sparkle to an infant video corner, and by lunchtime, 16,000 strangers clapped for the girl who hammered teasing into Lighthouse Flash. Indigo wrote a single promise in violet ink beside her spelling list. Clouds crowd only until you flash them bright enough to part, as Frau Ote would live with. Weekends belonged to the roadside farmer's market, where her mother's harmonica solos whirled around the scent of fried sopapillas, mechanic ratchets clicking on dusty pickup blocks, and vendors yelling about 3-for-1 squash. Retail jeans jammed halfway over Indigo's thighs, so she bartered tip jar quarters for sun-faded feed sacks, cut them into panels, stitched high-rise shorts, sprayed Roadrunner silhouettes in charcoal, and posed against a rush-striped grain silo while her cousins snapped grainy photos. She dropped each image into an online diary named Sunflower Lantern. During the same week, a brand new picture-sharing app drifted across spotty cell networks. Captions toggle between West Texas slang and straightforward English truths like curves anchor dust devil steadier than rebar. Before 16 candles flickered, she counted 58,000 unseen hearts tapping like on every amber frame, proof that bright screens hush lunch line whispers faster than any hall monitor's glare. A Window City scholarship lassoed her to Arizona State. Daylights vanished inside aerodynamics labs. Nights belonged to a 24-hour taco bus glowing neon basil beside palm shadows. The warmer bulb became her only softbox. Between carne asada orders, she filmed 90-second reels, folding wax paper into desert lily barrettes while explaining dart rotation in a voice half tumbleweed hush, half lecture zip. One upload laid coyote yips over a lo-fi beat while she chain-stitched reflective cattle rope into thrift denim. 46 hours later, the view counter skipped beyond 1.3 million. Southwest Style Blogs christened her the Taco Bus Couturier, though every sponsor email arriving next froze at size 16. Indigo slid each pitch into a folder labeled shrinking nets, wiped green salsa from her cuff, and folded another tortilla. Monsoon season ushered an email from Columbia Sportswear, inviting her to co-design a desert storm shell capsule they wanted to call Mesa Pulse. She answered with 3 solid rock terms. Patterns must reach 60-inch hips, at least half the creative crew hired from community college fashion programs, and 10% of net profit routed into Navajo Solar Workshop grant. Columbia signed before sunrise. Rosie fired the lab. Skylight. The shoe unrolled at dawn on a salt pan where jackrabbits carved twin lightning tracks through gypsum dust. Indigo directed curvy barrel house dancers to pirouette across pale mirage water while a drone sketched silver loops overhead. When the lookbook dropped, every extended size jacket vanished within 41 hours in 27 countries. Sunflower Lantern vaulted past 700,000 followers. Still smelling of Chipotle smoke, she ducked behind flour sacks, balanced her phone on a cumin box, and live-streamed tear-bright thanks beneath buzzing fluorescence. Further review. If that first leg already stirs your ribs, tap the subscribe button now. One featherlight press locks your boarding pass so the next story rides straight into your feed before algorithm winds change direction. Spotlight shimmer attracts rumor rattlesnakes. A gossip vlog claimed Indigo cinched steel plates around her waist beneath those Columbia coats. At sunrise, she rode a skateboard across cracked motel asphalt, stood steady in sports bra and canvas shorts, traced each stretch mark with crushed bougainvillea dust, and wailed a harmonica gliss so raw that barn swallows spun loops overhead. 10 million viewers reposted the jam-tagged Bougainvillea proof, brushing pink pollen across their own curves until gossip slithered into the sand. Taco bus wages, braided with capsule royalties, and whipped into Moonriver butter, a custard swirling sunflower seed butter, prickly pear oil, and mica sparks that glow pearl under phone flash. 19,000 tins cooled on her father's workbench, lids tied with braided baling twine. Each label stamped "Moisturize Your Horizon." Inventory drained inside 84 minutes, netting $198,000. 20% launch beacon grants that deliver industrial sergers and fill record kits to plus-size teens in rural high schools, from Tucumcari to Terlingua. 8 months later, 36 grant winners hosted a floating runway and coyote song concert atop a free Burbage cattle trailer lit with LED straw bells. Streaming to daybreak anchors from Nairobi to Nantes. Phoenix Fashion Week minted new desert lore when a backstage vent sliced her emerald mesh gown from rib to knee 80 heartbeats before showtime. Indigo whipped neon tie-down rope off a lighting truss, laced the gash like hiking hooks, and strolled the catwalk as though the splice lived in every blueprint. Camera shutters cracked like kettle corn. Vogue Sonoran named a rescue rope Cadence, and another million lantern voyagers surfaced before after-party horns blew a single note. Month later, a sacked assistant leaked trim emails implying she demanded rattlesnake sushi and chauffeured doom buggies for her rescue roadrunner Pepper. She posted the entire chain, refillable water urns, lentil stew for crew, caption tablets for deaf stylists, then directed that month's affiliate stream $136,000 into biodegradable crab trap pilots in the Salton Sea Restoration Zone. Hands echoed her royal mantra, receipts shine brighter than rumor grit until whispers evaporated under high noon. By minus summer analytics read like heat shimmer 6.9 million, Instagram hearts 3.5 million real voyagers, and 2 million steady channel subscribers, engagement flirting with 10% and forcing brand planners back to blank slides. Cartier invited her to headline a Topaz Surge vignette inside the Fresnel lens at Heseda Head Lighthouse. She agreed. Once Cartier funded therapy stipends for farm crews surviving record drought, the finished reel, her wrist scattering amber shards across iron ribs, became Carti's most bookmarked post of the quarter. Family keeps her North Star fix. Twice each month, she streams Porch Plasticity. Her mother slaps funk grooves on a hand drum beside a propane griddle. Dad recites cloud haiku, and Indigo flips thrift denim under copper festoon bulbs. One broadcast peaked at 9 million when Pepper darted through powdered sugar, skidded sideways, and sneezed a glitter storm on the camera. A wildlife refuge now sponsors every stream, tagging rehabilitated roadrunners with solar beacons paid for by Moonriver butter. Butter revenue crossed 12 million before year 2 closed. She leased a retired female, sawed skylight rows into corrugated steel, and hired furloughed ranch hands plus design grads to whip custard and knot lids by hand during midday dance break sets to harmonica house mixes. Efficiency consultants begged for heat shrink seals. She repeated her mother's wisdom, fingertips store legends longer than robots remember, and rope ties stayed Mental weather transparency threads her feed. Sandstone bluff portraits sit beside taco bus selfies captioned "Same sky, different weather." She shares breath loops recorded in lava tubes, printable grounding worksheets in English and Dine, and sliding scale counseling links. 135,000 readers credit her desert candor as their first safe watering hole. Community rides glow with crushed shell paint. Hundreds wheel the Bay Road at dusk wearing Moonriver butter on shoulders and LED sunburst tassels on spokes. Ticket proceeds expand beacon grants and finance wheelchair snorkel lifts at remote hot springs. Chili stands fry late because Frito pie sales spike 15% on ride nights. Indigo glides lead on a vintage cruiser with pepper plush strapped in a handlebar sling, pausing to knot any rider's loosening lace. She is drafting a memoir titled Currents Keep Names, slated for 11 language editions next spring, while a film crew shadows her dream to convert retired weather bowies into floating maker pods for desert lake schools. Puma's wide-to-wave wave lantern sneaker drops next quarter, threaded with reflective rope and cushioned by algae foam, sending 10% of revenue into beacon ceilings across the Southwest water table. Stuck and Breeze's invitation taps your screen right now. If your subscribe button still blushes red, turn it calm gray today. That single click cinches your seat so tomorrow's swell hits your notifications first. Once playback settles, slide into the description. Waiting there, fresh Moonriver butter jars, fast lane beacon grant links, tonight's porch plasticity playlist and a nuanced compass, a research-backed bundle of conversation sparks and calm confidence drills mapping the clearest route to lasting love and the surest way to help any woman you meet feel genuine intrigue. Free, no gatekeeping, only one tap away. If the bottle-capped spine rope cadence gown rescue or pepper sugar sneeze spark even half a smile, push that like heart, drop your loudest ripple in the comments, and gift this voyage to a friend whose sails flap in still heat. Every curve redirects currents, every scar refracts moonlight, and the high desert sky bows to anyone who plants both boots on the pier plank and greets tomorrow eyes open wide. Final whisper rolls off the sand. Subscribe this moment, grab your rail, glance at that love link in the description, and meet me on the next rolling tide when another story flickers beyond the breakers and courage calls your name all over again.